What's up, y'all? Cool. Is there lights on? Cool. Hey, how are y'all? Good. How's school going? Hey, yo, where's everybody at, though? Like, I know we don't usually start on time, but I didn't think, everybody showed up after 6:30, I thought, see, there we go. We got some. It's cool. It's cool. All right. You want to share before, or do you want to share towards the end? Towards the end? Okay. Cool. Hey, people are trailing in, and that's okay. How's school's going? How was Easter? Did everybody have a good Easter? How many of y'all still Easter egg hunt? Okay, raise it right, high. Okay. Okay. How many of y'all got more than 20 eggs? Still see them. Ethan, that's tough, bro. I'm so sorry. How many of y'all got more than 30 eggs? Okay. How many of y'all had 60 eggs? Dear Lord. Why y'all? Dude. How much candy did y'all get? Oh, I don't know. You just go. All right, fair enough. Okay, cool. Hey, we got some announcements. Hey, if you're with me, say I'm with you. Okay. Hey, y'all, I'm ready to get going. I'm excited for this. We're going to kick off with some announcements, and we're going to jump right into this. Stay on schedule. So, first off, where do I want to start? Okay. How many of y'all know or remember what's happening April 17th? Who said it? There you go. Charlie, yell it out. One night. All right, everybody say one night. Cool. Who said 2 nights? Bro. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, yeah, that's right. April 17th, we're having one night. And what basically that is the goal of one night is to invite that one person that God is laying on your heart to come to church. This person could go to a church already, or they can casually attend, or they don't believe in God at all. Whatever end of the spectrum they fall on, the point of one night is for you to invite the one. And it's going to be a huge night. We're going to have pizza for everybody here. We're going to have a huge fun time, games. We're going to be in the big sanctuary too. So after hanging out in the basketball courts and eating some pizza over here, we're going to take a field trip over to the sanctuary. We got as much as our adult team as we can manage to do worship for us. And Pastor Ronnie's going to be speaking the word. And it's going to be super fun and super good. So you don't want to miss it. Invite all of your friends. Cool. Everybody say this Saturday. A little louder so I can hear you because I've lost so much hearing from the amount of drums I've played in my life. This Saturday. Cool. Okay. This Saturday is Teen Women's Dinner. Dinner. So, cool. Raise your hand if you are a girl, please. Cool. That means you apply for teen dinner. All you have to do to sign up for that, it's at, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but it's at 6 p.m. Cool. It's at 6 p.m. All you got to do is you go to the Church Center app and register for it. Or if you don't know how the Church Center app works, find a leader, find me, and we'll make sure you get on Church Center and get signed up for the event. It'll be a good time. Okay. Y'all ready to get things rolling? Yeah? No? Y'all aren't very energetic. Is school just draining y'all? Y'all just tired? What's at 5? Oh, it's at 5! I believed Billy and he led me astray. Thanks, Ethan. Yeah. Thanks, bud. Cool. All right. Hey, if you're with me, say I'm with you. Okay, so let's get tonight started. How many of y'all remember back in the beginning of this semester, or beginning of this year, we did this series called Inner Circles? Cool. So basically what happened during Inner Circles is we split off into our school groups. Y'all went with the leader, and we went over a couple of parables or passages of Scripture, and we just talked to them in depth and really dug into the concept of it. And I thought that was a perfect callback to set up the one night. So as we're in pursuit for the one, I thought it was a perfect way to set up one night by doing an inner circle moment and going over the entire chapter of Luke, chapter 15. And basically what that is, it's just all three of the parables about the lost ones. It's about the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son, right? Cool. So what's going to happen is we're going to dive into this. I'm going to read all three of the parables out loud to y'all. and then we're going to go over them for about 15 to 20, probably 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to them as a big youth group. Does that sound good to everybody? Cool. So let's dive into this. Luke chapter 15, verse 4. This first son is the story of the lost sheep. So this one goes, if a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness and go search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. When he arrives, he will call together his friends and neighbors, saying, rejoice with me, because I have found my lost sheep. In the same way, there is more joy in heaven over one lost sinner who repents and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. We're going to pick it up. We're going to keep going. Verse 8, this is where the parable of the lost coin starts. Or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins, and she loses one. Won't she light a lamp and sweep the entire house in search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she will call in her friends and neighbors and say, rejoice with me, because I have found my lost coin. In the same way, there is joy in the presence of God's angels when even one sinner repents. And the last one, before we break out in the groups, this is the longest one. It's the parable of the lost son, verse 11. To illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man has 2 sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die. So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all of his belongings and moved to a distant land, and there he wasted all of his money in the wild living. For the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man, who became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, at home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant. So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. But his father said to the servants, quick, bring the finest robe to the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf we have been fattening. We must celebrate with a feast, for this son of mine was dead and now returned to life. He was lost, but now he is found. So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the fields working. When he returned home, he heard music and dancing in the house, and he asked one of the servants what was going on. Your brother is back, he was told, and your father has killed the fattened calf. We are celebrating because of his safe return. The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, all these years I've slaved for you, and I never once refused to do a single thing you told me. And in all the time, you've never given me even one young goat for a feast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours comes back after squandering your money on prostitutes, you celebrate by killing the fattened calf. His father said to him, look, dear son, you have always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found. That's all of Luke chapter 15. So now if you remember what happens during the inner circles, we're all going to break off into our groups. Okay. If you are a Zia girl, you're going to go back into the back couch land and with Rainey and whoever she equips to help. Rainey, all the leaders, I have your papers up here. I didn't get to pass them out. So they're going to come up here as y'all. All right. Where's my Zia boys at? Yeah, can you? Here, do you want to take one? Cool. Hey, if you're a Zia boy, you're going to follow Joseph, and if it's not too windy, he's going to take y'all to the picnic tables. Okay, junior high girls, you're going to meet in this back corner in a circle-ish area, and Bianca's going to lead y'all in whatever leaders she equips to help her out. But that's y'all's section, that back corner. If you're a junior high guy, shocker, you have me. We're going to meet right where y'all are sitting. So if you're a junior high guy and you're not over there with Brantley, Colin, and them, make your way over there. That's where we're meeting. Okay. High school. You're junior high. What do you mean that's one? Are you? No, you're not. Go in the junior high. Go in the junior high. Anyway, if you're a high school girl, Mia is going to be leading y'all's group, and y'all are going to meet in this circle-ish area. However you want to do it, I don't care. And whatever leaders are with her, they can help her, but Mia is leading that group. If you're a high school boy, I'm sure you get the drill. Matt is leading y'all's group over here. The papers are over here, y'all. My bad. Boom. Boom. Okay. Hey, hold on. Can everybody hear me? And I'll go tell them, okay, we're going to have 15-ish minutes. If conversation's still going strong after 15 minutes, we'll extend it. But we're going to shoot for about 15 minutes to talk over these 3 passages. The verses are on here, so if y'all want to reread them, do what you got to do. And also, the point of Inner Circles is to have open dialogue and conversation about these things. So ask all the questions you want to ask, go in any direction you want to go, because the point of this is to grow deeper in the Word and in the full understanding of these passages, right? Okay. Brandon's going to wait like 1 minute while I go tell the Zia kids that, and then he's going to start the 15-minute countdown. But y'all are good to start. Cool, 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 cool. We got everybody in here? They're coming back. Slowly but surely. Y'all, the next thing we got to work on is getting some lights on, y'all. I feel like I can't see y'all. So lost. That helps a little. Huh? Yeah, Brandon put some nice... Oh! Brandon? Okay. Cool. All right. Hey, if you're with me, say I'm with you. Cool. Hey, did y'all have good talks? Y'all, everything, you got it all out? How many of y'all made through all three of them? Cool. Did any group not make it through it? Cool. Can you hold on to them? Because I'll ask you and, can you take these to either Daniel? I don't care who passes them out later. We don't need them till later. Okay. Cool. So if you remember last year at this point, almost-ish, however you want to say it, whatever month it was. So basically what happens now is we're going to go back over all the questions as a youth group, right? And I'm going to ask y'all to answer them out loud with the microphone. However y'all feel like you answered in the group. If you shared something in the group you don't feel like sharing, that's okay. Or if you just now thought of something that you now want to share, that's more than okay too. So we're going to go back over it. First parable was the lost sheep, right? Luke chapter 15, verses 3 through 7. And the first question is, what stands out the most to you in this story? So does anybody feel like sharing what stood out the most to them when it came to the lost sheep story? No? Anyone? Adults can also share. Feel free to jump in if an adult wants to. My leaders can. Okay. You got one?
So what it meant to me with the lost sheep, yeah, I hear you. I'll quiet down now. What it meant to me with the lost sheep was that, like, even though you have all these followers and all these people that are on the right track, even if that one person strays off and you chase after them, or he chases after him and finds them and brings them back on the right path, that should be something to rejoice about. Even if you have all these 99 people, you still need to rejoice over just the one life that you saved and brought back on the path.
Love it. Cool. All right. Anyone else want to share anything? There's no right or wrong. It's all about conversation. Is there anyone else have anything they want to add on? Cool. All right. What I got for it is what stands out to me is the part in verse 5 when it says he's found it and he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. And it really stands out because how many of y'all have dads that can get a little aggressive when you get in trouble? They raise their voice, as a good dad should. They raise their voice. They tell you when you're doing something wrong. They do. Okay. So this really stood out to me because more often than not, how many of y'all get almost yelled at or getting onto if you kind of like, if your family goes out somewhere and you end up like straying away from them without telling them where you're going, or you do this little thing and you end up getting in trouble even though you didn't think it was a big deal? Have y'all ever been there? Cool. Let's say, now how many of y'all after that kind of feel like your dad's mad at you a little bit even though you didn't think it was that big of a deal? How many of y'all feel like your dad's mad at, or that parent, because it doesn't have to be a dad, but how many of y'all feel like that parent's kind of mad at you? Yeah. Say, it stands out to me because it points out the fact that even though, if you're with me, say I'm with you. Cool. It points out that even though that one sheep went off away from the 99, right, that one sheep ran away, he still joyfully picked it up and carried it home. And that's what's so awesome. That's what really stands out to me, is that God is different than any other, because our parents are human, and so they might not be joyful with us all the time. But no matter what situation we find ourselves in, God's always going to pick us up, throw us on his shoulder, and carry us home. And with a smile on his face all at the same time. The next question was, why do you think there is more joy over one lost sinner than 99 who haven't strayed away? My gosh. Ethan. Yes. Why do you think there is more joy over one lost sinner than 99 who haven't strayed away? Thinking. Adult leaders can chime in too if y'all ever feel like you want to add. I'll meet you halfway.
Because every soul matters.
Yeah. I know. See, these answers could be like 3 words long, y'all. Like, there's not that much thought behind them. Y'all, anyone else want to share anything? Like why the one was so important? Holly? Cool.
Okay, because I was telling my group, like, Jesus said he came to save the lost, right? So if you're not lost, then you're already saved. So why would he be with those who are saved versus going and getting the one who needs to join the flock, right? Because if you're one by yourself, you're lost, you're vulnerable, like we talked about. And so when you're vulnerable, you're more prone to attacks. So Jesus needs to go after the one.
When you're alone, you're more prompt to get attacked. It's cool. All right. Next one was the lost coin. Everybody got through the lost coin? Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm here for it. Okay. The cookie cutter question, of course, ask it every time after we read something. What stood out to y'all the most when it came to the story of the lost coin? Cool. Were you raising your hand? Oh my gosh. Anyone? Yo, my group's being quiet. They had a good answer for this, especially Brantley. My gosh. Do you want to, Brantley? All right.
Blanking. That they like clean the whole house and turn on the lights just to find that one lost coin.
Exactly. Yeah. And I followed that up by asking them, like, how often do we just lose something and after 5 minutes of looking for it, we just don't care that we lost it anymore? We're just like, whatever. It didn't matter that much. Do you want to share? Do you want to share too? We can get you all. Cool. Do you want to make your way up here, bro? Evan? You don't? Are you sure? Okay.
Oh, do I have to stand up? Okay. You want to sit down? Oh, okay. I'll wait. Okay. I kind of like what Lily said in our group. She said that the lady or the girl, she had friends to rejoice with her, and not friends that had anything negative, but friends that would rejoice with her about that one last coin.
Cool. That they got to mine. That was what I was gonna say. I wanted to point out that, so we get to the second story of Luke chapter 15, right? And there's starting to be this running theme of calling your friends and neighbors and rejoicing. And it even talks about that in the next story, that he invited everybody in and he rejoiced. And it really just shows that when we find that lost person, we find this person that's been running their entire life, that's been hurting their entire life, that is clearly missing something, but they don't know what they're missing. When we find that person, it's a time to just rejoice and be excited and to fully jump in. And it's so awesome because despite it's an amazing time, and we should always stand up and cheer and clap when people decide to give their lives to God, because in that moment, no one's thinking about what they're repenting of. No one should be thinking about what their home life is like. No one should be thinking about what they act like in school. Everybody should just be rejoiced that the lost person has finally made his way home, right? The next question was, what are some things in your life we tend to give up on early? Let's start. What are some really ha-ha funny things we give up on early? Mine in my group is that after about 5 minutes of looking for a charger, my phone's just gonna die. I don't even care. What are some minor things that we tend to give up on really quickly? Schoolwork, that's fair. I don't know. I mean, your principal's here, so I don't know if I'd say that's minor, but no, just kidding. What about anything else? What, Joseph? It's sports. You give up on sports early? That's a real one. That's not a minimal one. Family time matters, Matt. We're doing ha-ha funny ones. Working out? Yeah. We're doing the funny ones, Ethan. Do you have a funny one? What? Eating healthy. That's a good one. Okay. Hey, if you're with me, say I'm with you. Okay, what are some real things, some real problems that we give up on real early?
Family time. Family time.
Family time. There's a lot of us that after about a week of family dinner, we're not even, some of us after an hour of family dinner are like, I don't even, I'm still hungry, but my food's done. I'm out of here. May I be excused. All right, who else? What are some real situations that we tend to quit on early?
Zaylee had a really good one, and we tend to give up on ourselves a lot.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Ourselves, family time. Is there what other real things do we tend to give up on real easily? Judah? Friends. Okay, that was good. In our group, someone even said, I think it was Rylan, he said we give up on repairing relationships too easily. Yep. Oh. Anybody else? And raise hands. Jesus. Ethan, do you want to say it in the microphone?
Jesus.
Yeah. Thanks, man. But for real, as funny as it is to say that into the microphone, how for real is that? The fact, because I've been in 7th and 8th grade where I just kind of like, you know what? I'm on the worship team. I'm just gonna like coax through this. I don't care. We're just gonna vibe. Cool. And I put in my notes for that question: God, church, friends, school. We give up on health, and I think we give up on a lot because we don't see the end. So we can't see something, and so we end up losing the faith that we had in it. How many of y'all tend to find yourselves giving up on God or giving up on trying to reach that person, trying to reach someone you've been trying to get to come to church for so long? How many of y'all end up giving up more often than not because lack of faith that you'll ever get a different answer, right? Sometimes we give up on our relationship with God because lack of faith, He's never going to come through for us, right? How many say, I've been there? All right. Yeah. We're gonna get to that last parable. Okay, this was the lost son. Everybody got through it, right? Don't got to repeat nothing? Okay. First question was the cookie cutter question. What stands out to you in the story of the lost son?
How like the brother, he went and he sinned, and he wasn't very good with his money, and then he realized that with his father was where he was supposed to be all along, and he went back and the father forgave him immediately. And I think that just shows how easy God will forgive you if you sin.
All right. Shows how easily God will forgive you if you sin. Charlie's raising her hand. I'm moving. I'm going.
The thing that stood out to me the most was how the older brother got overly jealous because his younger brother went and betrayed his father, and he was there with his father the whole time.
Anyone else got anything that stood out to you? Looking.
I feel like most times we give up on our relationship with God, especially when things aren't going the way that we expect them to go, or when we're getting closer with God is when we're going to be the most attacked. So, yeah, our relationship.
Cool. All right. Cool.
So a few things. I love the parables, first of all, and all three of these parables are so cool. And the fact that we're looking for one lost sheep, we're looking for one lost coin. There's the one lost son that came to his senses and came back. And there's so many things that can be said about all of them, but not to go too long here. Just a few things that come to mind that I think I would like to share with y'all tonight is this. One is, don't give up on God. I mean, that's kind of the recurring theme with all of these, right? What happens to that sheep if they gave up looking for him? He dies. What happens to that coin if they say, I don't know, I give up? It stays lost forever, right? You know, the excitement of finding that lost coin or finding the lost sheep, well, your 99 are here. They've been here. They've already had their celebration of being of once was lost and now is found. You know, when it comes to people who are coming to know Jesus, there's celebration in heaven every time somebody gets saved. Let me tell you, the parable of the lost son, just something I shared with the junior high kids. How many of y'all have ever, surely not very many in this group, how many of y'all have ever done something you're not supposed to do, and then you finally come to the point where you're like, all right, I've got to come clean. And so you're rehearsing in your mind what you're going to say. Well, I see a lot of head nods and stuff, people looking at each other. That means some of y'all did some stuff together you're not supposed to be doing, right? So, as we come back together, you've done something, you're like, I've got to come clean. I'm going to be found out. I may as well come clean. And you're rehearsing this in your mind. And you're thinking, okay, this is how it's going to go down. I'm envisioning me saying this and them reacting this. The cool thing is that whenever he got to the Father ran to him, and he didn't care what he had to say. He was just ecstatic that he was home. He once was lost, but now he's found. That's the whole point of these parables, is something that was once lost and now is found. Every time somebody comes to know Jesus, there is celebration in heaven. I love baptism Sundays. I love rejoicing with somebody who wants to make public their decision to follow Jesus. It is so exciting. It's a time of celebration. You know, there's a whole message that can be given about the older son that was jealous and all butthurt because his younger brother that was being stupid is getting a party, and he stayed there and was working the whole time. Well, he's been there the whole time. He was never lost. The celebration is that he came home. He came back home, and he was found. And there's so many things that go on with that. But listen, guys. Anytime somebody comes to their senses and gets saved, that's a time of celebration. Anytime somebody that's saved goes off and does something stupid, whenever they come to that realization, whenever they come to their senses, it's a time of celebration and rejoicing. So let's get in the habit of celebrating each other whenever something good takes place, whenever a good decision is made, hey, listen, guys, I know that so many times, and especially whenever you get older, as you progress through Zia and you get into junior high and you get to high school, I know the peer pressure gets tense sometimes. I mean, it's thick, it's heavy, it is such a burden. I know that. And so often it's easier to make the poor choice. It's easier to go with the flow. It's easier to say yes to do whatever it is whatever activity is going on that shouldn't be. It is so easier at the moment to just give in. It's often harder to make the good choice. Whenever you see your brother and your sister make the good choice, whenever it's hard, man, that's a time of celebration. Come up with them and rejoice with them. And then go get ice cream.
Come on, that was good. Come on. Cool. We're gonna get to that last question. We're gonna skip one of them. If the people who have the sticky note things and the pencils could hand them out to everybody as we do this last one. Yeah, everybody needs one. They're like sticky notes. Yeah, one sheet. That's it. Gosh, Daniel. Okay, anyway, all right. The last question we have for y'all is, why do we so often wait to hit rock bottom? Oh my gosh. Did I really put Rick Bottom? Sorry for anybody who was lost by that. My bad. So, why so often do we have to hit rock bottom before we start looking for help? Here. I'll wait as we pass them down. Do what? Huh? Oh, I'll repeat it once everybody's got paper. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. Just hold on to them tight, and if you don't have a pencil, you'll get one because it's for the very end. So you're good. Just make sure. Every guy got paper? Yeah. And Billy's going slow. He's taking his time. Yeah. And after the worship team wants to come up too, if you're a student on the worship team, you can wait a little bit. Can wait a little bit. But Oscar and Daniel, we're good. Y'all are good to come up. If you don't have a pencil, they will come to y'all in a minute, but we don't need them right now. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. We're going to be good. We got plenty of time. All right. Hey, if you're with me, say I'm with you. Okay, one more time. If you're with me, say I'm with you. Y'all are awesome. Thank y'all. Okay, so the last question we were all asked, and I hope everybody understood what I was trying to say, but why do we so often wait to hit rock bottom before we start looking for help? Y'all think? Come on, Andrew. I'm coming this way. Going this way.
I think it is because we don't want to be made fun of. Because we're just trying to wait it out and see if maybe we can fix it ourselves. And we don't want to let it out, and then people push us back down, and we just get lower.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why we hit rock bottom so fast is because we probably blindsided by ourselves. We have this tunnel vision of getting through the day, getting through the week, trying to finish my grades and get through this 9 weeks, get through this year. And we hit rock bottom without even knowing, and we face plant and we hurt ourselves more because we're beating ourselves up.
Who? Charlotte? Cool.
I think that one of the reasons might be because, like, once you do one thing that puts you further away from God, you might think that doing one more thing won't hurt, and then you progressively do it over and over again until, like, you're at rock bottom, and then you're just so far from God that then you want to go back because you realize how far you've gotten.
Yeah, that was good. Come on. Yeah. The papers were my fault. Don't do nothing with the papers yet, okay? They're good. Hey, anyone else have any opinions on why we wait till we hit rock bottom before we ask for help? Okay. This is what I put. I put that I feel like we wait to ask for help for so long because this generation especially, we're so obsessed with red flags that we tend to not notice when the yellow flags are flying by, right? Because it's real. How often do y'all say now or think now, like, oh, that's a red flag. That's wrong. That's dumb. Got too far. Say, we so often in life find ourselves so far only looking for red flags that we miss all the warning signs going along, right? So what are some things, just y'all, no one has to answer out loud unless they feel really, really like they want to. But what are some things that, or situations we tend to find ourselves in that that are too bad already that get bad real quick? What are some situations that you have been finding yourself in that have gotten real bad real quick? No. No. I'll tell you when to use the papers. That's my bad. Cool. Okay. We're gonna start wrapping up because I think the adults are done. But everybody, bow your heads, close your eyes. We're gonna fast track this. Put the chairs down, please, and thank you. Billy's gonna hit the lights. Thank y'all. Okay. Closed eyes, bow your heads. Here's what the papers are for, because we went over the 3 parables about going after the one, right? Lost sheep, the lost coin, the lost son, and how when the one comes back home, it's a rejoice, it's a triumph, it's something that we need to celebrate. And the whole point of tonight and of next week, and finally the 17th, is to go after that one friend that you've been wanting to come home for a long while now. So right now, what's gonna happen is I'm going to ask Matt to come up here and talk to y'all for a little bit about something that's on his heart. And the band's going to start playing behind him. And while Matt is talking and a little after Matt is talking, this paper is to write down the names of your ones. You're going to take the paper and you're going to write down all the people that you feel called to invite to next week and to the big night. So here's Matt.
Okay, real quick. Sorry, stop writing. Get your phones, hold them up. Put them under your seats. If you're by somebody right now that's gonna distract you, I encourage you to move right now. Because God has laid something on my heart I don't know if it's for someone in this room or if it's someone that you need to tell, but it's for someone. So I encourage you to move away, listen up, and just please. So, I actually have a story. I had asked Kaden to share something that God had laid on my heart. And it was about just self-doubt, being insecure, just doubting yourself, everything. The next day, I think it's cool how everything lined up because literally the next day, I was having the greatest day. Just, everything, good morning. You wake up, you feel good. I got out of practice. And yes, you can laugh at me for this. I got done with practice and I went to the bowl. I had put my car in park and forgot to take the keys out of the ignition. And me thinking that I'm gonna be quick, which I'm never quick. I'm always late to everything. I maybe took 10 minutes, left my car there, went to go talk to some coaches. I came back, my car was gone. And doubt already started creeping into my head. I was like, this has got to be someone just messing with me. This is just got to be a friend playing a prank, late April Fools, Time passes, I'm looking around the parking lot thinking one of my friends moved my car. And then I start to realize that this is no longer a prank. That something's going on, and I had my heart sank. I was running around the parking lot looking like an idiot, and then I find out that my car was stolen. Right then and there, I just began to put myself down. I begin to think of the person that stole the car. I asked myself, why would they do this? I started thinking, like, I don't know, I just started having hate for this person. And then I realized that why do I need to hate him? Why? What is me hating someone gonna do to fix the situation? What is my doubt about myself? How is it gonna fix the situation? But then, all I began to do was just pray to myself. And I'm like, God, I'm done doubting, done worrying. I'm just gonna give this problem to you. And later that day, I had went over to Mia's house and Zeke saw, how do you stay so calm? I thought to myself, at first I wasn't calm. I prayed about it, gave it to God, and I found peace because I knew it was in His hands. I knew that I had friends. I knew that I had family. I knew that I had just the whole community behind my back to help me just reach out and to help me find this guy. But most of all, most importantly, I had God. After I had prayed, I was like, I'm not gonna worry because I know it's in God's hands and He's gonna play everything out right. So we do everything, blah blah blah, and later that night, or technically today, at 12 in the morning, I was getting ready to sleep because I started doubting again. But then I prayed, and then I again got comfortable, and then I fell asleep. And then at 12:02 to be exact in the morning, I had gotten a call, and it was the police officer, the sheriff. He told me, we found your vehicle. Just think of instead of worrying about your problem, what if we give it to Jesus? What if we give it to God and let them take care of it? Often we look at ourselves in the mirror and we question why we did this. Why do we suck? Why do you put yourself down? Ask yourself, why do you put yourself down? Too often we're worried about us, and instead of giving it to God, we're just too worried about everything that's causing chaos in our lives. And then we're like, what do? We hit rock bottom. What if instead of worrying about what you're going through, you just give it to God? And just think of the amount of blessings. If you give it to God, just think of the amount of blessings that you will receive if you just put it in His hands and stop worrying about it. I feel like there's a lot of us right now, and most of us have our self-worry, self-doubt. We hate people when we shouldn't. Honestly, when that guy stole my car, yes, my gut, I kind of, I was furious in the moment, but I gave it to God. And honestly, whenever they had caught him in my car, I began to think that there was no hatred after that, after I gave it to God. I actually wanted better for him. I hoped in that moment that he actually finds Jesus and knows that Jesus paid his life on the cross for him. And I hope that someday that he encounters God and just changes his whole life around. Then again, how do I know that I'm not supposed to be that person to do that? How do I know I'm not supposed to be that person that's going to go over there to help him and share the word? You could be the next person that saves one of your friends' lives. So could you, Demery. So could you, Carissa. So could you, Ethan. Jonathan. Yes, it gets tough to worry about our situations and what we're going through, but just think, we're all going through something. It's just so much easier when we put it in his hands. Just make sure you know who you need to go to. I know it's going to be tough in that moment. It's going to be hard to pray. But just think of all the blessings he'll receive if you just put it in his hands. We're missing out on all kinds of blessings if we just don't ask for help, ask for guidance. So, I want to encourage each of you that know your self-worth. Once you find self-worth, and once you know that God created you, your life will begin to just sprout. So, go ahead and bow your heads. I'm going to go ahead and pray for y'all. And right after this, I believe we're going to worship. So, I want every one of you, if you're distracted, please leave y'all's phones. Do not stand by a friend. This is supposed to be an intimate moment with you and your relationship with God. Nothing else. This isn't a time for talking. You have plenty of time to do that after. This is to better your relationship. Dear God, we thank you for just allowing us to come together today. I know it's not easy for each and every one of us to get here every single Wednesday or Sunday, but Lord, I pray that we make this a priority in our lives. I pray that you work in each and every one of us and that you move in us right now, tonight, Lord. And I pray that each and every one of us make our relationships just better with you. Lord, if there's any doubt, insecurity, anything that's messing with each and every one of them, Lord, I pray that you just have all of that leave out the door right now, Lord. Lord, I pray that we open up our hearts and we allow you to move in our lives right now, Lord. Because you're the only one that can. You've come to save us and many more, Lord. I just pray that you allow our hearts just to open up right now in this moment. And I pray that we get closer to you. Lord, if there's somebody on their minds right now, Lord, I pray that they write it down on that piece of paper and they pray for them. But Lord, I thank you again. I pray that you're here for every single one of us throughout the rest of this week, and I pray for safety. I pray for love. I pray for just kindness throughout this room, and that we spread it throughout the schools, wherever we are at. Lord, most of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for allowing us to come together tonight and just share with us your wisdom, your word, and just allow us to just open up our hearts and dive deeper into your word, Lord. So, Lord, I thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Okay. Yeah. So, Here's what happens. I'm gonna stop playing and let them play by me. I love what Matt said because he's absolutely right. When we're starting to put ourselves out there, these feelings are gonna come up, and you're gonna start doubting yourself and feeling like you're not enough, and you just have to give it all to God. And right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna write down the names of the people that God is laying on our heart right now. But I don't want anybody to move until they've had the names written down. And once you have all the names written down, you're gonna come up and you're gonna stick it at the front of the altar on the stage. Make sure you look for people who don't have pencils so they can do it after you. But once you have your names written down, we're going to stick them on the front of the stage, and we're just going to worship, and we're going to pray over the names that are on the stage. Because God might bring up some hateful emotions in you, because he might be telling you need to invite someone who you've invited before, and they just end up cussing you out because you just want to share the gospel with them. And that might be someone who God's laying on your heart right now. So no matter the emotions that come up while you're thinking of who you need to reach out and who you need to share with and who you need to show the blessings to, remember that ultimately God's in control, and we just have to give all that fear and all that anxiety to God. So as soon as you have your names, give your pencil to someone who doesn't have one and stick the notepad on the front of the altar, okay? Let's worship, come on. There's a grace where the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire standing next to me. There was another in the waters holding at the seas. And should I ever be reminded of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burdens, where another died for me. There was another in the fire. All my dead left for dead beneath the waters. I'm no longer a slave to the sin anymore. And should I fall in the space between where remains of me and this reckoning, either way I won't bow to the things of this world. Come on, sing it out. And I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire standing next to me. There was another in the waters holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding what power set me free, there is a grave that holds nobody, and now that power lives in me.
There is another in the fire. Oh, 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 well, I can see the light, and I can see the light in the darkness. As the darkness bows to him, I can hear the roar in the heavens. As the space between west and I can feel the ground shake beneath us. As the prison walls cave in, nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between. Hey, one more time, come on. And I can see the light in the darkness. As the darkness bows to him, I can hear the roar in the heavens. The space between us. I can feel the ground shake beneath us. As the prison walls cave in, nothing stands between us. There is no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was and still is and will be through it all. So come what may in the space between all the things unseen and this reckoning. And I know I will never be alone. Come on, one more time. Come on. And I know I will never be alone. And I can see the light in the darkness. As the darkness bows to him, I can hear the roar in the heavens. As the space between west and I can feel the ground shake beneath us. As the prison walls cave in, nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. There is another in the fire standing next to me, and there be another in the waters holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding how good you've been to me, I'll count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. There'll be another in the fire standing next to me. There'll be another in the waters holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding how good you've been to me, I'll count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Come on, I'll count the joy. I'll count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I'll count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Just the voices. I'll count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. One more time. Count the joy from every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. We love you, Lord. We thank you for everything, Lord. I pray for the names that the students have written down, Lord, that a seed has been planted today, that something amazing that none of them could have ever thought would happen, Lord.
I pray that you go with them throughout this week, Lord, that you stay by their sides, no matter what situations that come up, because when we step into what you call us to do, the enemy's going to attack. And when we try to reach out to the lost, to bring them to you, Lord, the enemy's going to do sick and twisted things, Lord. So be with these students as they go back to school, as they go these next 2 weeks, Lord, and they're just on fire for you, and they're inviting their friends, Lord, and they're just doing everything they can. Be with them, Lord, and remind them that no matter what they get told, no matter what happens to them, no matter who yells or says whatever, that you hold it all, and that their peace comes from you, Lord, and not their own. We love you, we praise you, we give you all the thanks for every blessing in our lives and every blessing to come. And it's in your mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. No. Okay. Hey, love y'all. Remember, the drawing's coming up, so you get your name in no matter what. Hey, if y'all gotta go, you gotta go. That's okay. We went over by a bit. But for every one friend you get one extra name in the bucket for yourself. So make sure you're inviting people, bringing people. It's going to be an awesome time next week. We love y'all. Have a great time.